Well, I've had a great Wednesday so far, and I hope you have too. Have you tried out the Snap Bar feature yet in the Fun Zone? Well, here was my attempt. Hopefully yours looks a little better than mine. Just remember to upload them to social and tag your images with hashtag Informs2020. Well, we're more than halfway through the first virtual annual meeting. How's everyone feeling? I'll say I was a little nervous about how the experience was going to go, but I've really been enjoying it. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce my next guest, Cynthia Barnhart. In addition to serving as president of Informs, Cynthia is also the first woman to serve as chancellor of MIT. She's the recipient of the Women in ORMS Award for Advancement of Women in ORMS. She's an Informs Fellow, has served as an editor for a number of Informs journals, founded the Doing Good with Good OR student competition, and so much more. Cynthia, it's truly a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you, Glenn. I'm honored to be here.
So, share with us, how did you become interested in entering this whole field of ORMS and analytics?
I think it must go back to when I was an undergrad. I was majoring in civil engineering and thinking that the coursework was really too rote, formulaic, and, well, uninteresting. And then I took an introductory level linear programming class and my life changed. I really find interesting things like translating English sentences into mathematical statements, manipulating those mathematical statements with computer algorithms. It's just a fun and liberating thing for me to do. You might wonder why liberating. And I think the reason I say that is because what I've always loved about my work is that I can design how I want to address the problems. There's both an art and science in what we do, and there's no one answer. So we can always be in the mode of creation or invention in our field, and that's really gratifying.
I think that a lot of people share those same sentiments. So STEM careers are a growing area of opportunity for women. When you look back at when you entered the field today, what changes do you see that support more women entering these fields?
Well, the most important thing I see is more women in our field. You know, I really can't understate or overstate the importance of women in numbers in our field. So, you know, why do I say that? Well, women signal to other women that they belong, you know, and that they too can be there. And with more women, the culture of organizations can be changed and shaped so that more women want to be part of them. So I have to say the biggest change I see and where I think women get the most impetus for entering our field is by seeing more women in it.
Yeah, yep. And what are ways that we can, whether we're educators or students or in practice, can help not only encourage more women to explore STEM opportunities, but support and encourage them as they pursue these opportunities?
Well, probably a number of ways. First, I think we have to excite women about what a STEM education can do. You push the frontiers of discovery, you solve the world's greatest problems. I think that's a pretty easy sell. Another thing, we can make education more relevant, more hands-on, and more reflective of today's concerns. Third, we can provide rich experiential learning opportunities, you know, research opportunities, internships, competitions, international experiences. Help these young women students see what their future can be. I think another thing we need to do is provide a culture of supporting student success and not failure. The old culture, and I'll call it that, of say, look to your right, look to your left. Some of you won't be here at the end of the program. To me, that's all wrong.
Yeah.
I think the message we have to give students is you got here through hard work and great achievement. You deserve to be here, and we're going to help you get to where you're trying to go. And that brings me to the really important role I think advisors and mentors have to play. Advisors and mentors have to want to know the students as more than just students. They have to be invested in helping them achieve their dreams. And then I'll say one more thing that I think is important. I think we need a diverse cohort of fellow learners. Some that are like you, the student, but some that are not, so that you can learn from one another and develop these strong bonds and networks that will be with you throughout your career.
That's excellent. And certainly from a mentorship standpoint, that's probably one of the most singular things that people can have to continue to advance their careers and their pursuits in any way. Beyond the women in ORMS organizations, are there others that you'd recommend women pursue and be involved with?
Well, it's interesting. Women in ORMS has been, for me, a fantastic resource. As I mentioned at the start of this discussion, having this network of people that you can observe and learn from is really invaluable. I benefited from the Women in ORMS group because I found women who had a set of experiences like mine, who were like-minded, which is affirming. But not all were like-minded, which is also important. They were always willing to answer questions and provide advice. And I think, importantly, just provide me the inspiration and proof that women can make it. And that really helps boost confidence that you yourself, too, can make it. So for me, I would say the most impactful resources have been these individuals, these mentors and role models. And by the way, some of the role models have not been women, but certainly some have. And if I reflect on this, I realized that without having really thought about it, what I did in my career is I was always kind of on the lookout and seeking out people who share my values and who have already achieved my goals. And then I try to learn from them and emulate them. So I feel really fortunate because many of the people that I've interacted with have given their time to me. They've shared their experiences, their strategies, they've provided mentorship, and they've helped me over both small and big hurdles along the way. And I really have to credit that guidance with giving me the motivation to persevere, which in the end, that's a big part. That's a really big part of the picture, I think.
Inspiration. Yeah. So at the start of this interview, I named off a couple of your accomplishments and your recognitions, and most recently, the 2020 Informs President's Award to be awarded this evening. What moment in your career are you most proud of, and why?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, I'll tell you what jumps into my mind. I think it was the day I was told that MIT was granting me tenure. And why is that a particularly proud moment? I think it's because I was told by many along the way that it wouldn't happen. I was reminded repeatedly that for a few decades, no one in my program had been granted tenure. I was told that I should think about a career change that would allow me to have the family life I wanted and the career I wanted. I was told that I should not work with senior collaborators until after tenure. I was told a lot of things I didn't agree with or like, so I mostly ignored it all. And I steeled myself for failure by believing that I was chasing something that I wouldn't likely get. So when I was told the news that I was tenured, I was just elated. I was really proud that I had stuck to what I wanted, and I did it the way I wanted, and it worked. And that was hugely satisfying.
Yeah, overcoming adversity, and I did it my way.
Maybe that says something about stubbornness. I'm not sure.
Hey, a win is a win. Well, great. Well, it's been a great talking with you and catching up with you again. It's been so long since I've seen you. Congratulations again for tonight's award, and we'll see you around.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you to Informs for this recognition. It's humbling, and I'm very grateful.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cynthia, it's been wonderful speaking with you, and thank you for sharing your personal experience and insight with our fellow meeting attendees. Enjoy the award ceremony tonight. Now, coming up next, we have keynote sessions discussing the integration of personalized medicine and public health and quantum computing optimization before this evening's award ceremony. Make sure to join us tonight for the Informs Award Ceremony hosted by Informs President Pinar Kiskanacek and Executive Director Elena Gerstmann, and featuring special guest Jorge Cham of PhD Comics. The event begins at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll be recording it if the show doesn't play nice with your time zone.